What's up, nerds? It's McKinley, and today I'm doing my weekly wrap-up, but it's really for 2 weeks, and then I will finally be caught up on wrap-ups. Bless. Bless, bless, bless. I have new lighting, so I think I look whiter, but I'm not mad at it. So, yeah, I'm not wearing makeup because I got the light set up and then realized I had to put on my makeup, and you don't want to see behind the camera, okay? You just don't. Anyway, let's get right into the books. I don't think I've done my least favorite to most favorite the last 2 wrap-ups because I kind of just blanked, but I'm going back to that format today. I'm not telling you what reading challenges anything counted for because I don't even know anymore. I'm going to wrap up each of my reading challenges, and that's just how it's going to be. The first book I have to talk about is my only 3-star read of the last 2 weeks, and that is Girl Code by Andrea Gonzalez and Sophie Hauser. This is about 2 girls who created a game that went viral called Tampon Run, and about their time meeting and how they grew up into wanting to work in computers. And I think it's a great read for young girls who are into that and are like 15, 16, like your teen years. You know, if that's something you're into, I think this is a great read. I think that you can learn a lot about what it's like to be a girl in that industry. For me, I'm not good with computers. Like, I'm alright, but it was never something that I wanted to do. But I read it because I am very into supporting girls and women to going against the mold of what society has tried to put them in. So, yeah. Highly recommend it to teenagers that are into girl code or into coding or anything computers. I think you can get something out of it. But yeah, 3 stars. Editing McKinley here. I lost the introduction to the next book, but it's my first 3.5-star read. Sorry about the continuity on this video, guys. My brain doesn't always function properly, but back to me talking about my first 3.5-star read, and that is Keeping the Moon by Sarah Dessen. I decided I wanted to reread all of Sarah Dessen's books before her next book comes out on June 6th, and rereading this one, I still really enjoyed it, but something was rubbing me the wrong way. Like, it almost, like, there's an ex-fat girl in this, and I don't know, a lot of the things that were said and stuff just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and that's why I dropped it to 3.5 stars. But other than that, I still really enjoyed it. If you don't know what this is about, it's about a girl whose mother is like a fitness type guru, but she used to be fat, and so did she, and she ends up going to live with her aunt for the summer because her mom is going on a tour with her fitness stuff, and she ends up making friends, and she starts working at a diner, and it's just like a cute summer contemporary. And yeah, I gave it 3.5 stars. This is like the 3rd time I read it, I think. So the next book I gave 3.5 stars is The Seafarer's Kiss by Julie Ember. I am part of the blog tour for this, so I will have a review going up on May 17th on here, my Instagram, and my Tumblr. So if you're not following me on all of those, the links are down below as always, and I will also have an interview with the author going up on my Tumblr, and that's all I have to say about the blog tour. But this book is a Little Mermaid retelling with a bisexual main character, and I enjoyed it a lot. It's based on Norse mythology, so Loki's in it. There's a gender fluid character in it, and all in all, I enjoyed it. It was a slow read for me, and that's why I only gave it 3.5 stars. But the main character is also like fat, but not, I don't know, it's weird, you'll see. But I would recommend it because I think it's a fun retelling of Little Mermaid, and I actually enjoyed it more than the original Little Mermaid, so there you go. Now on to the 4-star books. Next I read, this isn't necessarily my least favorite of the 4-star reads, I just don't have this, so I just want to get those out of the way. Because I do, and that was The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. I think I called him Colton in another video, but it's Colson. And this is about, obviously, it took place in the time of slavery, and if the Underground Railroad had actually been a railroad, although I will say this about it, it doesn't really talk about the railroad that much. You see it, but it's not like, it mostly follows this one girl, Cora, through her time trying to escape, and a little bit as her time as a slave, and it's obviously really, really sad, and I think it's important to read books like this, to be uncomfortable, because shit like this actually happened to people, and with the current times in our country, so if you're in, obviously if you're in America, the current times here, I just think it's important to remind ourselves where we came from and try not to repeat it. So yeah, this won a Pulitzer and I gave it 4 stars. Oh look how much prettier I got while I was gone. My food just got here and I went and ate. Now I'm back, and since I was out, I put on the face. Anyway, I gave The Underground Railroad 4 stars. I highly recommend it. I think it's a great book. I mean, obviously the Pulitzer people highly recommend it too, but they did give The Old Man and the Sea a Pulitzer, and that book sucks. So maybe don't take their word for it every time. You know what I'm saying? My next 4-star book was That Summer by Sarah Dessen, and this is her first book. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think if you go into it not expecting a big romance, you'll still like it. But if you've seen the movie How to Deal, this book and this book are that movie. And I do think they work better together, but this is about, honestly, because of the movie, I get the books confused all the time. So in this book, from that movie, you cover the father's wedding, the sister's wedding, and her dealing with all the change. That's really what it covers. It covers a lot of change in a girl's life over one summer, and I like it, and I gave it 4 stars. My other 4-star read was Someone Like You, and this one covers the half of the How to Deal movie where her best friend is pregnant and her best friend's boyfriend had passed away, and also the love interest from that movie is in this, and he is a fucking dick. He is not a dick in the movie, he's a dick in this. And I, like, as I was reading that, I was getting madder and madder, and I don't remember if I was that mad when I first read this book, because I was like 19 or 20 when I first read it. And I don't think I've reread it. I'm not sure. I don't think I've reread it. But I do think this is a great book about a girl's growth over like a year. Or 9 months. Probably about 9 months. She grows up so much, and it's a growing up story. So if you're watching me and you're like the age of her in this book, I think she's 16. Maybe check it out. If you're older, I think you can still appreciate it because we were all that age once. But I would definitely recommend this most to girls in high school because some stuff goes down in this that I think that they need to be reading. And that's all I'm going to say. 4 stars. My first 5-star book is This Is Just My Face, Try Not to Stare by Gabourey Sidibe. Oh, I guess the lighting still reflects even though there's umbrellas on it. You learn something new every day, huh? Okay, so anyway, this is obviously a memoir of Gabourey Sidibe, and I listened to the audiobook, and it is hilarious. I love her. It covers, like, her growing up in poverty, and her job working as a phone sex operator, and I think, and what it, like, being fat-shamed in the public eye, and her depression, and her stay at a mental institution. It's just, I love it so much. I already said I gave it 5 stars. I think she looks so freaking adorable on the cover of this. I've never seen Precious or Empire. I know her from The Big C and Twitter, but I still highly recommend it. I really liked it. I really, really liked it. My second 5-star read was Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Hammer of Thor. I love this series so much. I could cry. I love it so much. It's so good. It's my new favorite Rick Riordan series. I'm not going to tell you what happens in this one, but the first one is about Magnus Chase, who dies and he goes to live in the Hotel Valhalla, and he died a warrior's death, so he gets to be a warrior in the afterlife and get sent on quests, just like in all of Rick Riordan's books. And in this book, we get introduced to a gender fluid character, and the way it's handled is so good, and there's Muslim characters. It's an incredibly diverse series, and I am embarrassed to say how much I spent on the 3rd book because it comes in a sealed thing and artwork, and it was expensive, and I got it anyway because I adore the series so much. So much. My final 5-star book is one of my all-time favorite books, and that is Dreamland by Sarah Dessen. This was the book that I always said was my favorite Sarah Dessen book. up until Saint Anything came out. And after rereading it, I don't know, there might just be a tie. I don't know why this book hit harder for me this time. First, let me tell you what it's about. It's about a girl whose sister disappears on her 16th birthday. And she runs away. And her sister's 18, so it's like totally legal, but she's always kind of been the ignored sister. And Sarah Dessen does that a lot, actually. She always writes about like super shy girls who are kind of ignored by their family or having issues with her mother. Makes me wonder if she was the ignored sibling who had issues with her mother. I don't know. Anyway, and she ends up getting in an abusive relationship, and I think that maybe I'm just far out enough from my abusive relationship now that it like really hit me harder this time. I'm not really sure. I'm definitely one of the, like, my brother was definitely the one that my mom paid attention to all the time, and so I've been really open about that on this channel, but I don't know. I cried this time reading it. I've never cried before. It really hit me this time. This is one of my all-time favorite books. Definitely tied for first as my favorite Sarah Dessen novel. I can't recommend it enough. I love it, especially if you've been in an abusive relationship. So, yeah. Those are all the books that I read the last 2 weeks. Now I am caught up on wrap-ups, and I couldn't be happier about it. And I will now be switching to weekly wrap-ups. So, yeah. That's it. Please like this if you liked it. Let me know what your favorite book you've read recently is down below. And please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!